So we will try to implement the various string functions, and then we will understand how each function is going to help us. But all the functions are available in this page where you can refer what each function is doing. But today we will try to implement these functions in our job. So let's use some of the functions like, let me show you. So we'll try to use left function, uppercase function, length function, field index, and is null. Let's try to use these 6 functions in today's class and understand how they are going to work. Okay. I'm opening my DataStage console. So first we need to come up with the sample data, right? For that, let me use this employee full.text. Okay. So here there is department name, right? Let me also make the requirement sheet as well so that it will be easy to understand for all of you. I'm taking the sample input to explain you. Let me paste that into an Excel. Okay. So this is my sample data. First, let me add the metadata. Source column. What are all the columns that we do have? Name, employee ID, department number, names that we do have. Let's try to add the transformation here. Transformation. Okay. So name, let's try to do the uppercase. So whatever we do have, example, let me give the example. So if input is Avinash, then output must come as Avinash. Okay. And then for employee ID, let's add a prefix. So as of now, add prefix 0010. Okay. Then if suppose my input is 101, then output should be 0010 and then 101. Okay. This is how it should be. For department number, no transformation. Or else let's calculate the length. If length is less than 2, then append 0. Okay, that means, or else if length is less than 3, then append 0. That means if my department number is 10, then it should become 010. Okay, if it is 100, then the output also should be 100 only. What I'm saying, if the length of my department number, here what is the length? 2, whereas here the length is 3. If the length is less than 3, then append 0 still that number. Or else if length, so I want department into 5 digits, then what will happen? For 10, how many zeros we need to append? 3 zeros to become 5, right? For 100, how many zeros we need to add? 2 zeros. So what I'm doing, I'm appending zeros till the length becoming 5. Okay, then grade. Okay, no transformation. For gender, If gender is null, then save them to a different file. Okay, this is a condition that I am asking. Then department name, take first 5 characters. Then if my input is accounting, it should become as ACCOU. That's it. If it is sales 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the output also becomes sales only, because the length should be first 5 characters. Okay. Then salary. So left is done, uppercase is done, length is done, null is done, index and field. Index and field is not going to help in this particular sample data. So let's try to implement these functions. For salary, I am not doing anything. No transformation. Okay. So this is not a transformation. This is a constraint. Constraint or condition. So how many files we are going to have is 2 files. One file should have data with gender as not null. Other file should be able to capture the data where gender is becoming null. But before applying these things, let's prepare our mockup data in such a way that it has to satisfy all these. Okay, so I'm changing the department numbers in few cases. Okay, and then I'm also changing. So gender need to be kept null. So for Akshay, I'm not keeping any value for gender. See, I deleted this is what null value, because no value is there for gender. Okay. Now I'm copying this updated data to my actual file and I'm saving it. So this is sample data, but in real time, we'll be provided with this data. Okay. So we are done with preparing the requirement spec. Even the spec is good. That requirement sheet is going to be shared by team itself. We are not going to prepare any requirement sheet. We will be given by requirement sheet. We just need to develop the job. Now let's try to develop the job. I am taking a new parallel job. So let's add the skeleton. First, I'm reading the data from a sequential file. So sequential file. Then I need to apply the transformation. So I need to take transformer stage from processing tab, drag the transformer to your drawing area. Then we need to have 2 files. One file is a file where gender is having data. Other file is the file where gender is null values. Okay. So I'm copying 2 files. Now I'm done with the skeleton part. Somewhere the link is not joined. Okay, here only it is not joined to transport. Okay, all the links must be in black color, otherwise the link is not joined to that particular stage. Now I am changing the file names and link names. This is my employee data and this is my link to transformer. This is my transformer, so rename it to transformer. This is a link to null gender. So this should be file null gender. Okay. And this is my link to output. And here it should be sequential output. These file names are only for our understanding purpose. They will not make any logical difference. Okay. Now we are done with the skeleton part. I am saving this one. Demo transformer 2. I save this. Now let's add the plugins. So the file name is employee underscore full dot text. I'm copying the path, going back to my job, adding the file path, and here it is employee full dot txt. Okay. First line is not a column name. Then go to format tab. Final delimiter is end only. Actual delimiter is pipe symbol. Quotation is none. That's how our data is. Pipe symbol and no quotations. So now we need to give the column names. Name, employee ID, department ID, grade, gender, department name. And the last one is salary. I hope I am provided all the columns. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All are done. Let's try to configure the SQL types. Name is character. Employee ID integer. I'm keeping it as varchar. Department varchar. Grade character. Gender character. Department name character. Salary integer. And now I have few rows where gender is null. So we need to keep this nullable as S. That means null values are allowable for this particular column. Okay. Otherwise, we could not able to read them here in sequential file. I'm clicking on OK. Then only all my options are going to be saved. Now I'm viewing the data so that I can confirm my plugin is happened successfully. So I can able to read the data. Now let's try to see here. Department ID is having 3 digits, 2 digits. So it should come as 5-digit value. For employee IDs, as per the requirement, if it is 101, how it should become? It should become 0010 and followed by employee ID. So we will try to apply all these transformations to our actual job now in the transformer stage. I'm closing this one and I'm clicking on OK. Now let's go to transformer. So this is a transformer where we need to apply the transformations. Let's keep this top. Okay, that is not coming. Link to output. I want all the columns to my output, right? So I'm dragging all the columns and I'm placing here. Or else we can also drag and drop here as well. Either is fine, but we need to add the transformations now. How my name should convert to uppercase, right? So we need to convert the name into uppercase. So to do that, our cursor must be at the start of my link, my derivation. If I click on at last, sometimes see here, I can't able to see the functions. If I keep my cursor at the end, here I could not able to see my functions because there is nothing to apply the functions after this one. So we first need to move our cursor at the beginning of the derivation. Then we can able to see the function names. Okay. So my cursor is now before L now. I'm clicking on three dots over here. Go to the function, then go to the string functions. And here we need to select uppercase. Here it is at last, uppercase. So uppercase of what? What you want to convert into uppercase? I want to convert my name. So I'm removing this one. And in the braces, I'm adding that name column. So my derivation is completed. Now the name is converted to uppercase. Now here to the employee ID. What is the ask for employee ID? Adding prefix 0010 to the existing employee ID. Okay. To add prefix, so this is go to function. Okay. Here it will not be. For adding any prefix or suffix, we need to use colon symbol. Colon is going to add the data. So first what I want to add 0010. The prefix which is need to be added need to provided in double quotes like this. Okay. Is my screen visible? Let me try to zoom. I'll check how I can able to zoom it. But here, let me give this derivation onto a notepad. So this is what it is there. This is my prefix which I am going to add. So when we are adding something, we need to provide colon symbol. Say suppose for Jansi, I need to add hi at the end. Then how I need to give Jansi colon in double quotes or single quotes, we need to give it. So then the output will become like this, Jansi hi. Say suppose if it is hi colon how are you, then my output is going to be hi how are you. So here we want one more space, right? Then we need to give that space here. Likewise, we can add any number of strings, but the derivation is to add something, we need to give this colon. Say suppose we would like to add something before, that is prefix. This is my prefix. Adding something at end is called suffix. So now I'm done with adding the prefix to the employee ID as per ask. For department ID, what is the ask? The department ID should be 5 in length. If the length is less than 5, then add the zeros to make it 5. So length of 10 is 2, right? So how many zeros we need to add? 3 zeros. Length of 100 is 3. So how many zeros we are adding? 2 zeros. So how we can able to know that how many zeros are going to be added? By calculating the length. So let me give the approach first, then we will try to implement the logic. Okay. So how we need to do that? So first I'm calculating length using length function. Okay, this will give my length of column. Okay, now what I'm doing, if length is less than 5, then we need to append zeros. How we can append? By adding zeros. So str is one function which is going to append string to my column. So if I give an expression something like this, str is one of the function which is available in DataStage to append a string to the column. So now I'm asking 0 to be appended, but how many times that appending need to be done? 5 minus length of my column. Please try to understand it logically. If you do not understand, let me know. So what I am doing here is, first I am calculating the length. Okay. I'm at a, so here we can implement it in two ways. Okay. First, calculate the length of column, then compare it with 5, then append prefix 0. But how many times that we need to append that 0? 5 minus length of column. These many times we need to append 0, right? So my prefix is not a constant. That means prefix in the previous case, the prefix is constant. What is the prefix for employee ID? 0010. This is not changing. When a value is not changing, then we call it as a constant value. Okay. But here my prefix is changing. If length is 3, then I should add only 2 zeros. If length is 2, then I need to add 3 zeros. Okay. If length is 4, I need to add only 1 zero. So to do that one, this is the function that we can use. What this str function is doing, str is going to append a string. Say suppose I'm asking k to be appended for 5 times. Okay. Then what I'm going to get, k. This is the output of this one. Okay. So say suppose I do have str of 0, 3. Then the output is 0, 0, 0. But this value is not fixed, but we can able to calculate this value, right? This is nothing but 5 minus length of column. Length is going to give the length of the column, and we can able to calculate this one by 5 minus length. 5 minus length of column is nothing but the value which I want here, and I would like to add zeros. That's what I'm adding here in the logic. So go to the department number. There I would like to use the function str. So it is going to available here. See, str. Once after I'm using it, we are going to get the syntax. So here it is asking which string you would like to repeat. I would like to repeat 0. So I'm giving that 0 in double quotes. Then how many times would you like to repeat it? I would like to repeat it 5 minus length of my column. So how I can able to get my column? By selecting the input column, department ID. So now I know how many zeros are coming. To these zeros, again, we need to add the department ID, right? So, which is nothing but I'm concatenating zeros and my value. So I am adding colon here. This is the derivation. Let me explain this again. So this is the actual derivation for doing it. So my str function is going to repeat the string 0. How many times it is repeating? 5 minus length of the column. If the length of the column is 2, then that is repeated 3 times. After that, I'm concatenating my actual department, which is 10. Say suppose my department ID length is 3, then 5 minus 3 is going to be 2. So I'm going to get 2 zeros and then my department ID. So this is going to satisfy, this derivation is going to satisfy our requirement. So far we are done till here. For grade, let's proceed further. For grade, no transformation is there. For gender, if it is, so transformation is not there, but constraint or condition is there. If gender is null, then we need to save them to a file. If it is not null, then that need to be saved to another file. And department number need to pick first 5 characters. Salary, no transformation. Go back to job. There for gender, I'm not doing any transformation for grade, gender, and salary. Whereas department name should come only 5 characters from beginning. So to get 5 characters from beginning, we can use left function. Go to function, then pick the string functions, then use this left. Left is going to pick the string to those many length. So what we need to pass in the string? The input column. I'm copying this, Control C, Control X. I cut that name and I'm pasting over here. Control V. Okay, and the length. So how many characters do I need? Left of 5. That means I'm going to get the characters of 5 length from left. That means if my input is accounting, left means it is starting with A. Left of 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Till here it is going to be pasted. Say suppose I do have something like length. Then left means starting from beginning, 5 means till here. H is going to be removed. That is what the left function is going to do. So now we are done with all the derivations. But you see, derivations are added to link to null gender, but not to link to output. So we need to pass the similar transformations even to bottom. So I'm deleting all these things. In your keyboard, to select all the columns, select on first column, click on shift button, select on last column. Then in between columns are going to be selected. Now click on delete button from your keyboard so that you can able to delete all at a single time. Now I want same derivations to my output link also. So click on here, drag the derivations to bottom. Say suppose sometimes we will get requirement something like if it is a null gender, then give male to all. So all null values are going to be replaced with M. Whereas here we are passing the same gender which is coming from my input. So we can change the derivations on each and every link. But now we need to add the constraint or condition. So which records should go to null gender and which records should go to output link. Okay. Double click on this one. Let me show you again. Double click on the constraint, which is going to open the window. Now here we need to add the constraint. In which case the data should go to null gender if my gender is null. So how we can able to do it? Is null is a function which is going to check whether data is null value or not. Okay. If you do not know how to type it, click on here, go to null handling, go to functions, then click on null handling. So these are a couple of the functions. Now we are using is null of my input column. So the value need to be replaced by input column. Which input column? Gender input column. So is null. If my gender is null, then data is going to link to null gender. I'm clicking on this otherwise. In all other cases, data should be flow to output link. Okay. We can also give the condition something like is not null of gender, but is not null of gender or otherwise. Both are same, right? If gender is not null, otherwise means if this condition is not satisfied, then in all other cases, it should go to this link. Okay. I clicked on OK. I clicked on OK. We are done with transformation configuration. Now let's go to the output. So which file it is? File null gender. I'm giving the path. So for null gender, now the gender value is coming as male because we have given null gender or male gender. I'm giving output 2.txt. So in this output 2.txt, we need to get the gender value as M. Why? Because I'll show you again. Because that is the derivation we have given. I'm giving the delimiter as tab and quotation as none. Okay. Let me copy this value so that we can change there. We can add there. For copying, Control C is the shortcut. So let me add the same name, but I'll change the file name as output1.txt. Okay. Go to format, delimiter. Let me keep it as tab and quotation as none. And I'm clicking on. So to this link, the gender is going to be added as M because link to null generator. Here for gender, instead of M, let me give gender is blank. So this value is going to be added to that particular column. Okay. And here the actual gender is coming. I clicked on OK. I am compiling my job. I will upload this video today itself. Please do practice. If not, we will not understand the next classes. Okay. I'm executing this job. Oh, all 8 rows came to here only. Let me see if my data is having null values or not. Null values are there now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something is missing. See, even though I have given the constraints, it is not coming as expected because in the data we do have 2 null values, right? These should go to above link, but they are not going. See, all the 8 records move to the output link only. Let's check the data. So output 2 is nothing because C is 0 KB. So here, even though I do have no gender, it is not giving the gender value here and here. Let's go back and see where the issue is. So this condition is not working, right? What I'm doing is I'm keeping an OR condition. So we can add one more check. This check is not working. So what I'm doing, if it is null or if this value is nothing, if the column is equal to nothing, nothing can be verified using two single quotations. That means in both the cases, if it is null or if no value is there, either if this condition is satisfying or this condition is satisfying. In both the cases, data should go to above link. I'm clicking on OK, and let's rerun this one. Because is null check is not passing the data. So we need to check how we can able to validate the data as per the need. Sometimes even though they are null, it could not able to consider it as a null value because blank value is passing over there. See now 2 values been passed to my above link and 6 values been passed over here. Let's try to see the data. So output 1.text. I'm copying this one and pasting to an Excel because that's where we can able to see the data in an appropriate way. Now verify. So all my names been changed to uppercase. So this is worked. Second one, adding 0010 to the output. Okay. So go back to your output and check. See here 00 is missed. Only 10 is coming. So this is wrong. We need to check how we can able to validate. And appending 3 zeros is also not worked in my output. Then for these two things, no derivation. For this one, we asked to keep left of 5, which is worked. So these two failed, which are nothing but these two things, employee ID and department ID. These two things are not applied as per the requirement. Why? Let's go back to job. The reason is, go back. So employee ID and department number. So let's consider this as a character. The issue is it is considering those zeros as characters, sorry, integers. That's why since no value is there for, say, suppose 010, if we consider that as an integer, we call it as 10 only, not 010. But if it is a string, then we can call that as a 010. So I'm changing this one to character data type. Then what happens is this zeros is not considered as an integer. They considered as a string. Okay. I'm doing the similar change here as well. For employee ID and department, I'm changing the data type to character. Even here also I'm changing it as character. Then to my input and to my output, the data type is modified. Now they will come as expected. And one more thing is we changed the gender right here. How we changed gender is blank. So it came, see, whatever we have given that has been added. Close this one and now let's execute this. Compile. Now execute. So now let's verify the data. Output 1.txt. So I'm copying this one and pasting in the Excel sheet. Even now I can't able to see. So even the file is correct only. Here only we are getting the issue. Let me show you. When I am pasting the data to Excel, that time the format is changing. Let me show you. This is the actual file which we received, right? So here we have 0010 appended. And here we have 00 appended if the length is 3, 000 appended if the length is 2. Where the issue is with the Excel sheet. Okay. Hope this is understandable. Let me know if anyone have any queries. Let me also show you the data designer output. Mm, Likewise, we will see couple other uses using transformer. So today, please practice this length function, left function, str function, and what else are there? My system is not responding. So we have seen left function, upcase function, length function, is null, str function. What else we have seen? Prefix adding, prefix and suffix. Okay. Do the similar functions practice on your side as well. I'll upload as I told today itself. And tomorrow we will see few other functions. Also, we have seen how to add the stage variables in our first use case. Okay. Okay, then I'm hoping all get the details. If anyone do have any questions, let me know. Hope we are all good. Okay, then bye. Please do practice these things. Thank you.